This is the time of the year when you may want to give a little attention to the garden. Get it ready kind of for the winter months ahead and also maybe for next spring. And this is a plant that it's called silver brocade. It's a variety of dusty miller. And you can see the tip growth, how, it was gorgeous all summer long. But now it's going into the fall season. The evenings get a little bit cooler and the mornings as well. And all of a sudden it's getting to look a little bit ratty. So we need to give it a little bit of winter protection. Here, I think I have 3 plants here. And let me just give you an idea of what we need to do. As you can see, this is all brown here with the tips out here, still kind of nice. But what would happen next year is that this would all be brown and then you'd have the new growth on the tips. And that doesn't make sense, does it? It wouldn't look pretty at all. So what we do is to go in here and actually remove this dead growth that's in here. And we'll do it just very quickly to give you an idea, at least on this one plant. A lot of growth here, and that's really desirable. But you know what's going to happen? When cutting it back in this method and this form is it's going to make an even bushier plant next year, because where there was one of these stems, there stands to be a good chance that there'll be 2 or 3 next year. So it'll make the plant, 2 or 3 times bushier. I'm going to pull a few of these on the nearby plant as well, just so you can get a good idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Now, the other thing about silver brocade is it tends to be a little bit on the tender side. So if the weather gets really cold during the winter, we may want to cover this. And we could do it with bark or sawdust, or we could actually even cover it with some type of cloth material during a cold spell. And then as soon as the weather warms up again, is what we would do is to remove that covering. And then if it gets cold again, cover it again. But you can see it takes me a little while to do this because it's such a nice, beautiful, bushy plant. In fact, these plants were several feet across. And notice here, see new growth already coming, but that's what's going to happen next spring. And that's really why we're cutting this back. Not only to get ready for next spring, but also so that it won't be as large a plant to try to winter. See, now we've got it down basically, I think there's 1 or 2 branches here mixed into another plant. But you can see how we've greatly reduced that plant. And now when it comes to winter protection, all I have to do is to cover that. Look how much better that area looks too. And when I get through with those other 2 plants, you can imagine this plant is really going to look nice for the winter season. So give a little attention to the garden and begin getting it ready for the winter and actually for next spring as well.